Yo, 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 welcome back to the Living for a Living podcast. I'm your host, Joey Bradley, and this week's guest is a pretty cool cat, man. One of the most interesting dudes I've been around and had the pleasure to meet. He's self-proclaimed the manifesting magician. He's Alaskan grown. To say that he's had a unique life path would probably be an understatement. He's a two-time national champion winner in Portugal and currently playing for Sporting. I got to check out a game after we did the podcast, and I loved his game. He just can get the ball in the hoop, and then more importantly, he's one of the best teammates I've seen in live action. So, my guy, our guest, Travante Williams.
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?
Like 72, they say, fuck it, we're going to just drive up to New Orleans. Or no, drive up to Alaska because we had another relative there. That was
From New Orleans.
From New Orleans. Somebody's making money on the oil fields. So family just hops in the whip and they just like drive up to Alaska.
What?
And so from there, it's like my mom's side of the family's from Seattle.
Okay.
Yakima.
Oh,
Yakima.
Bro, my dad was born in Yakima.
Yeah,
Grew up in Yakima.
My mom is from Yakima. So
Whoa.
then they kind of meet. Dad and mom meet, obviously. And then, I lived in Alaska my whole entire life. Born and raised, Anchorage, Alaska. East side of Anchorage.
Okay.
Make sure you put that in.
Okay, for sure. East side, okay.
But, growing up in Alaska was different, man. But it's like, I get a lot, like, is it the same? Is it part of the United States? Those are one of the questions. Yeah, definitely part of the United States. So what we have is really like I like to call it like a pot of like gumbo or like goulash. It's like, literally you have like, it's like one of the most diverse places to ever be.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's not an immediate thought at all for me. No.
Everybody you got to think it's like the safest place. Yeah, originally it was like the safest place for families to go. It's like, they're paying you dividends to live there. It's a very controlled place. So if you were having trouble with your family in this state, you're like, oh shit, let's just vacation, or like let's go to Alaska and live there.
And it's not just easy to get to. No one can just like
wants to
get over there. Yeah.
So we're like a 3-hour flight from Seattle. So.
Oh dang, that's actually way closer than in my
Seattle's
mind.
Yeah. It's like our cousin. That's like
yeah.
Like, call like that's like the big connection between Alaska and Seattle.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Damn, that's way. I mean, in my mind, bro, like I'm ignorant at times with the geography, even especially once I moved out here and like, where is Germany? You don't even know where some shit is. But like to me, like Alaska, it's like up there, So yeah, but 3 hours, that's like going to LA from Seattle.
It's an easy flight.
Yeah.
So, born and raised in Alaska. Started playing basketball around like 8 years old.
Okay.
Grew up like short and chubby, right?
Okay.
So like, I had two older brothers. They kind of played basketball, but they were never really like super duper basketball players. But like, yeah, growing up, man, it was like short and chubby, dealing with like a whole bunch of had a whole bunch of friends. Grew up in like a little area where it was races of everywhere.
Okay.
I had because there's a lot of Samoan population. The
Right,
population is big. The African population is big. We have an Asian community that's big. So you have going to school, I had friends with every single race. So I knew everybody. Like it was cool. So I just venturing off of that, it's like kind of in my life, it's like always been cool to be open to everybody because I grew up with everybody.
Yeah, that's.
So it was kind of just. We used to always think about when I finally started leaving Alaska and stuff, I started seeing people just grew up with one race or they grew up with just one certain people. Maybe there's one white boy or there's but we had everything, you know what I mean? So it's oh, everybody's cool. You can kind of realize that the whole racial thing kind of just broke down from there. So.
And I don't think about that, like I said, at all with Alaska.
Yeah.
But that's a cool realization for me because no, man, just to go off on what you said, I grew up in Issaquah, Washington, which is a little suburb of Seattle. And bro, in our high school, 2,000 people, maybe we had quite a few Asian, quite a few Mexican, but maybe 5-10 black dudes at the school, if that, know, and then moving down to Juco. I went to Juco in the Bay too. And Diablo Valley.
I know Diablo.
Yeah.
DVC.
Yeah, exactly. DVC. And so
I was at College of Alameda, and I went to San Francisco City.
I saw this. Yeah, I was trying to look you up a little bit before I came, and I saw this city, you went to city. I was like,
Central
okay, he's a JUCO dude too.
Man, the Bay Area. Shout outs to the Bay Area.
For real, I love the Bay.
Most amazing place there ever is.
No, and so that's what was crazy for me is like I always wanted what you had growing up, like because watching TV, like bro, I was the white guy watching BET all the time, like that was just me, and I was always like, damn, like I wanted to be in more of a diverse community, and then you go down to the Bay.
Yo, that's what's crazy. So when I fast forward, okay, I go to high school. No, what happens? So growing up, 8th grade, 7th grade, I'm there with my family. I got my brothers and stuff. My family's literally one of I wouldn't say we're one of the top drug dealing families, but I would definitely say that 75% of my family were drug dealers or associated with drugs.
Okay.
And, the nightlife basically.
Gotcha.
So, I had 2 older brothers. They weren't really into they weren't into school. They were kind of in the streets at an early age, 15, 16. One of my brothers, the oldest one, I think he's 8 years older than me. So he's 35 right now. Other brother's 4 years older than, so he's 30.
Okay.
So they're all instead of playing basketball and sticking to it, they kind of went to the street route. And it was, at that time, there wasn't a lot of education about, I can remember them not really having the opportunity to see more. So that was kind of the reason
They're
why.
just stuck in that bubble.
And I've seen a lot of my friends, their friends, everybody was kind of how do we really get out?
Right.
I don't really even blame them because it was literally a generational thing that they were kind of taught to kind of stay in this area. Yeah, it's easy to say go read a book and go to school, but
if no one, and no one's in front of you doing it,
you can't see nobody doing it. So it's kind of and we're from Alaska, so it's you don't really see too many superstars. We got 2 NBA players, 3 NBA players maybe, and
to get out of it is a long fucking journey,
I've seen the best, literally the best basketball players I've ever witnessed that helped mold my career.
Yeah.
Didn't even make it to junior college.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
For real.
They only lasted.
For real.
Most Alaskans have a stigma of getting to a junior college, going to the Washington junior college.
Okay.
And then they're done. They play there 1 year, Skagit Valley.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're done. They'll be back in Alaska, doing, whatever they're doing. So, growing up, every player that I've literally witnessed or was younger, looking oh, this guy's good, never made it out. I'll probably be doing the furthest. Me playing right now in Portugal is the furthest it's really been for the guys that I grew up around. Yeah,
and so with that said, do you feel there's got to be a little bit of a definite pride, but you feel almost a responsibility in a way of yo, there's another way, to kind of be an example. Exactly.
I'm figuring it out slowly but surely.
Yeah.
There was one of these kids that was leaving high school. He was going to college or something like that, and he did an interview with somebody, and he had mentioned my name as somebody that like a hometown hero, and I was oh shit, I'm really doing something, because I look at this shit as not really nothing super crazy. It's kind of normal for me. But I'm not realizing the effect that I'm having on a lot of other people.
Totally.
So when I see that and I hear things, I'm oh shit, I'm actually doing something. It kind of gives me that sense of responsibility. And then I flip back and be yo, I'm living my life, and that's what I need to do. I can't be nobody's I'm not trying to guide you, but I'm going to show you what you can do, how to be yourself.
For real. Yeah, no, and just by being you and being that true you is the responsibility and the example that you need to set. Because shoot, man, you see it all the time. Right now, that I think I tweeted this or something the other day, so I'm gonna quote myself here. Is a lot of people are cling to a certain identity, whether it be basketball player, football player, business owner, whatever this title is, whatever the first line on the Instagram bio is. A lot of the time, but they cling to that shit so much because that identity they can put out there, and they don't have to truly be the identity of themselves.
It's sick because it's almost I was just talking to a friend about this. It's almost you're living 6 different realities, just saying 6.
Yeah.
Because you have your own personal reality, which you think you know yourself. Then you have oh, you're the basketball. Or no, what your family thinks, because it'll be a little closer.
Totally.
So your family knows you of this person. Your closest friends knows you of this. You have your own deep, dark secrets. And then you have to go into reality. So it's you take them like 3 masks
Yeah,
off. Okay,
for
now
real.
in reality, now I'm just a basketball player.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, this is the guy I am. I got to be this guy. And it's difficult, man. I think like being a professional basketball player has been very difficult to kind of, it almost feels like you're putting yourself in a box.
For sure.
There's certain things you can't say online.
For
There's certain
sure.
things you can't do online because it's going to affect how people look at you. You don't know which coaches are following you, looking at you.
Totally.
You have all these kids from different countries that look at you as this person, but that's not necessarily who you really are.
No.
You know what I mean? So getting back to the other stuff, okay, grew up in Alaska, man. Literally 8th grade, started playing. These are the times I can remember playing basketball. I was short, fat, but I was hot tempered. I was
Okay.
I always had super talent. Like teachers used to say I was very talented, but I was like kind of like just and I had like a hot temper. I would like spaz out and do crazy shit in classrooms, and always trying to make people laugh and stuff. So that was kind of like the rap growing up. It was like I almost started to believe it for a minute. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of things that I was like, damn, maybe I am this guy. So throughout like my adolescent years, it was literally nuts. Like I was doing nut shit the entire time.
like what? You got
I
an
would say,
example of
like,
something?
Driving without a license, like a provisional with like 5 guys in my car. Like you're supposed to be with a parent or somebody. 5 guys. So like lost my license at like 16, had it for like 6 months. Didn't make any sense. Had it for 6 months, lost my license. But yeah, just doing all the kind of random things, man. Getting into a lot of things that if I would have got caught for it, I would probably wouldn't be here talking to you right now.
Totally.
So
No.
it's just like you ask yourself, is this like a destiny? Is this like some luck or what?
Yeah.
Did you just get, you know?
No,
Were you smart? Were you smart?
That's
Sometimes I ask myself, and a lot of kids, you know what I mean? A lot of people, I see things happen. I'm like, yo, that was kind of dumb. I don't think I would do that. So.
No, I can relate completely because, like, bro, we grew up in, like, a, upper middle class area. But, like, bro, growing up for parties to get beer, like, we would literally go, we called it garage hopping, where we would drive around in summer and everyone left their garage door open in summer. And I was a driver. A couple other homies would run into the garage, open the fridge in the garage, take whatever they could, run back, and we just do that for like an hour or two, and then go to the party. We're like literally breaking and entering, bro. Like
not knowing that you're really doing that.
No.
Not knowing how serious the crime is.
At all.
Because the justice system doesn't play that. Like that's a crime. It's a felony. You're going to jail.
For real. And it was just kind of like a fun thing to do. But like looking back now, it's like, whoa, like you said, we got lucky, we got whatever. Like I got in some trouble. I got in trouble doing some dumb shit too that kind of altered the path. But in the long run, but I'm a big, everything happens for a reason. And so it ultimately got me to right here, which I'm very happy to be right here. Exactly. And so how'd you get from Alaska to Juco? Like what was that transition?
This is the best part. Okay. So check this out. Playing basketball growing up, first year, freshman year, I play on the freshman team.
Okay.
Second year, I play on the JV team. Okay, I do all right. I don't even really remember those stats, but I was a good basketball player. You know what I mean? But I wasn't really athletic, or I wasn't like strong like the rest of the guys.
Okay.
I was kind of like I was growing slow, I guess. Then junior year comes along. This is my junior year. I'm getting, start driving now. So like everything's going cool. This first school I was at, what did I do? I don't make grades, I believe, for the first semester.
Okay.
And the coach wasn't trying to mess with me. He didn't want to pick me up at the second semester because you got another chance to make it. So I'm like, fuck that. Mom, I'm leaving. And like this time, me and my mom, like my mom's running the streets. So I'm like with her, like her ace boom coon. And we're just like, yeah.
Oh, damn, okay.
So I'm like, Mom, I'm leaving. She's like, all right, my baby wants to leave. He's leaving that school. So I didn't really have to tell her much. So like, and my brothers are in jail right now. They get locked up at this point in time, my junior year, sophomore year kind of thing. So
for drugs and stuff? Okay.
Federal charges. Like one's doing 7 years, one's doing 5 years.
Damn.
And it's kind of like a similar time. So, and previously before that, like my mom, my brothers, and my father were all locked up at the same time.
Damn.
So I had to go live with my grandma, which was dope because it was grandma. So, but fast forward into their junior year comes around. I leave East High School. I go to Bartlett High School where some of my friends are at. I'm there. It's kind of a distance away. I'm still driving in the snow, like doing crazy shit. And then like don't make the team there, like, or I make the team, but they try to put me on JV. It's
As a
still,
junior?
It's still a little hazy on how that situation happened.
Okay.
But like, I think they tried. I practiced with the JV team one day. The next day, like, I had gotten in trouble with like the sports director or something. I think we had gotten into an argument, and they ended up banning me from all sport activities. Like,
Whoa.
Like, I was banned from like going to a soccer game from 2 different heights. It was crazy. I don't even realize. I don't really remember how it happened, but I can remember being in a room with like hella secure, or like all the student advisory people and like police officers, and I'm like crying, and they're like telling me to sign something. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Damn.
So I'm like, Mom, we gotta leave this school too. So leave this school, go to another school, thinking with hopes of like playing there the next year. That doesn't work out. I forget what happens, but the year before, beginning of my junior year, I was supposed to make a decision to go to this boarding school with a great coach, great basketball coach. I had met him through like...
In Alaska?
Yeah, in Alaska. It's like Sitka, Alaska. It's like 2.5 hours away from where I live.
Damn.
So it's only like 30 minutes. It's a weird flight from Sitka to Seattle. I don't even know if they do that, but it's closer towards... It's like southeast Alaska.
So, the very, very... Okay.
Yeah. So we're closer towards like, I think Canada and stuff like that. We're closer towards Seattle, basically.
Gotcha.
But I was supposed to go there my junior year. I missed out. I didn't do it because it was like, who wants to go to a boarding school with 98% Alaska Native kids? You know what I mean? I didn't really
in the middle of nowhere too. Yeah.
Nowhere. I didn't even really know the coach like that. So I was supposed to do it, didn't do it. I'm like, damn, junior year's a flop. Junior year sucks. Don't play basketball at all. I'm like, damn, really thinking about putting it down. Friends are telling me to keep going, blase, blase. But then the summer comes around, and just like living with me and my mom, and the rate we were at, it was just like kind of toxic. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like it was like, you know, I could do whatever I want. I had like free reign to do whatever the hell it was I wanted. So after that, I hit the coach up. I fill out my mom doesn't even know this. I fill out the whole application form. It's this long ass thick packet. Why you want to go here? You got to write all this stuff down. I'm like, dude, something told me I had to save my life. So
Word.
What I do is I fill out the application. The coach gets me in. My mom's like kind of telling me not to do it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going. So I leave her, boom. And it's just me and my mom. So I leave her. I go to this boarding school, man, and I'm out there. And that's what kind of like saved my senior year, my career.
Damn.
So like I do crazy numbers. I get skinnier because I'm like working out. This guy's
That's
like a
what
sick
life
ass,
is out there.
He's
Yeah.
a sick ass coach. You know what I mean? He's like all about honesty, integrity, building you. So like there was times he sat me out because I messed up over little things. I'm running stairs. I'm doing all this type of shit. So I'm actually becoming like, I'm growing up.
Hell yeah.
That happens. Junior year goes up. The junior year it ends up, like, we were supposed to be, like, the number one team in the state.
Oh.
I'm playing 3A basketball, so I'm not even in the big A, the top Alaskan thing. So fast forward to, like, the semifinals where I just kill regions. I do everything. I kill it. And dealing with Alaska Native people, they have, like, there's, like, a big, like, stigma or whatever with, like, chewing tobacco and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? So like, because they live in rural areas, so like, chewing tobacco is big for them and stuff like that. So I come into this school with 98% natives. I'm like becoming assimilated with this stuff. You know what I mean? So I become a chewing tobacco fan. Like I'm, what?
Dipping, huh?
Yeah, we're in the dorms. We're like every day, everything's going great. You know what I mean? Like guys are like putting little little 5 bags in like. Of chewing tobacco, like females are doing it. It is the craziest thing. So I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on, man? People are sending it to them, like their moms sending it to, because everybody knows, everybody.
Yeah, it's just part of the culture. Yeah.
This dipping is not easy. So, but it wasn't allowed in the school.
Okay.
And my coach he was so big on like trying to restructure and like help Alaska Natives be like better people and get out of their own little stigma that they have. So he's like. He had this golden rule. It was like, yo, you get caught with chewing tobacco, you're done. So I would say 2 days before I'm set to go back to Anchorage in my home city. I haven't been there for like 8 months. It's like I'm about to go play in front of all my family. 2 days before that, I get caught in the dorm rooms chewing tobacco with a whole bunch of guys. We just got back from regions, just flew back. We're in the dorm rooms playing 2K.
Just
chilling.
Spitting.
This is everything we did like every day.
Right. And just got caught by security walk in or
security comes in the door to show me a newspaper article about me.
No.
What? Like, yo, and then he looks at me and he's like, the best player you did? Well, wow. He never knew or whatever, so he was super surprised. But then he tells me like kind of like, yo, he tells everybody, and they were like super slick with it. They were able to get. I was in shock, like, oh. He's like, yo, if you kind of spit it out, like everything will be all right. And I'm like, all right, cool, spit it out. Everything's good. I go back to my room. I'm like, I beat one. Oh, man, 5-10 minutes later, somebody comes knocking at my door like, yo, you got to go talk to the dorm room principal.
Oh, no.
I go talk to the dorm room principal. He's like, yo, they told me what happened. We can't just allow you to get away because you're the best basketball player. They call my coach. Coach comes to my dorm room. We're both crying.
Yeah.
'Cause we already know what's going to happen. I'm throwing things down in my room, crazy temper tantrum.
Yeah.
And, I basically got kicked off the team there. The team goes to the state tournament. They lose. I'm still at the school. I'm like, fuck that. I'm out of here now, Mom. Get me out. So I get a plane ticket. I leave the school and end up graduating from a secondary school.
Okay.
Called Save High Schools. Like a lot of people go to just pick up credits and graduate.
Just finish, yeah.
Got my diploma in 2 months. It was crazy because there was a whole different curriculum over there. So beat that. So now I'm like, damn. Family's talking to me. What are you going to do next? What's your next move? You just graduated high school. I'm like, well, there's an AAU team coming up in Alaska, so I'm going to try to do that. There's a tournament we're going to in Vegas and in California. So I'm like, I'm going to try to do that. I think that's my best bet. But in the meantime, in between time, when I was at the Save High School, I had to one of my projects was putting together a highlight tape.
Okay.
So I put together a tape of all my games that I played in this summer or this season, and I go on Google. This is literally one of my friends. This is a true story. One of my friends, he was a top football player in Alaska, and he got an offer to go to Chabot College.
Okay.
So he goes to Chabot. He's already football starts early, so
yeah.
He's going to Chabot. And I'm like, damn, well, I definitely don't want to be in Alaska, so
right.
I have to figure out a way to get somewhere else. So I'm hitting up all the prep schools in the country. I'm trying to figure out, because this is when prep schools were cool.
Yep,
and I'm trying to go to prep school. I'm trying to figure out all this type of shit I can find out. And I end up Googling all these schools, emailing all of them. Only one school might have hit me back or something like that, and he was cool, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, whatever. Didn't think nothing of it. Go to the AAU tournament in July. Do well. I did do really well, but I didn't pick up any offers or nothing.
Okay.
And
were your grades good enough coming out of high school, with all that? Was that a issue too, or
I don't think they really were playing for junior college. I didn't think it really mattered.
No, okay, gotcha.
I think
okay.
everything else, they just wanted to see my diploma.
Yeah.
So I do that. I Google all these places, and then at the end of the junior college shit, I end up in LA because it finished in Anaheim. So I stay in LA because I have family out there. And I'm out there for 2 weeks getting tattoos and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what life's about to hand me, but I'm just out here getting tattoos. One of the tattoos I was getting was in the inside of my arm, and it was so painful, but there was these Mexican cholos there tattooing me, so I couldn't cry or nothing. I was super scared just taking it in. But my family comes from Alaska. Find out that I have an auntie that lives in Oakland, California.
Okay.
She's 94 years old at this time. I've never met her. I've never really she met me when I was younger, but I didn't really know who she was. So we're okay, we're in LA, we're gonna drive to Oakland. We drive to Oakland, and this is the craziest part. We drive to Oakland, I meet my auntie for the first time. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And my mom, she's blowing up my auntie, one of my other aunties, and she's like, make sure you take Travante to find some schools, or make sure you try to help him out, or you know what I mean? Where's those schools at? So I asked my auntie, we're one of the colleges the only college that really hit me back was College of Alameda.
Okay.
And Oakland and Alameda are 5
right there.
minutes away from each other. So it just so happened to be my auntie's house is literally 10 minutes away from the school that was trying to get me.
Damn.
And so we're just sitting there, and I'm she's call the school. I call the coach, get on the phone. He's like, yeah, we're here on the track right now. Come on over. So me and my whole family just hop in the car, drive to the track. He gives me a tour around the school, shows me the guys. I'm seeing all these guys on the track. I'm like, shit, they're running hard. And then the rest was kind of history. He's like, yo, you'll be back in 2 weeks. And I'm like, shit, I'll be back in 2 weeks.
I guess so.
Go back to Alaska for a week and then come back. And then, like, started my career off at College of Alameda.
Damn, dude. That's great. Like, I mean, we have very different stories, but in the same way, incredibly similar. Like, my junior year for football, like 2 weeks before the season started, I got arrested for smoking pot with like 3 other dudes on the team. We literally I've never told this story, like a lot of people know about it from where I'm from, but like I've never told it. Literally hotbox my car with we bought an eighth and rolled the whole fucking thing in a blunt, bro. The first time we rolled down the window was to the cop's face. And like, bro, cop's exact words, I can't ever forget this for the rest of my life, was, wow, that's a lot of marijuana smoke. just like straight up. And we had nothing left. And so we didn't get we didn't have anything. And so we ended up not getting charged. Like, they were kind of cool, but ended up getting suspended for the first 2 weeks of the season. And since it was my car, I kind of became like the bad kid at the school. All 3 other kids got their starting jobs back as soon as the suspension was up. I didn't, I had to like come in after the starters throwing 2 picks and try and save the day maybe, and ended up then balling out my senior year, but still it was just too late to get any offers. And so in the same way, me and my dad did I knew I had like UW, Washington State, Idaho, like preferred walk-ons. I was like, I don't want to I want to earn it. You know what I don't want to earn it by just being the bitch in practice. Like, that's a grind. I respect it, but I wanted to play some games. I'd only played 1 year of games. And so me and my pops road trip down to Cali, saw I think 1 or 2 schools up north. We just saw DVC up north and then a couple schools down in LA. And same kind of thing though, like met the coach out on the track, like he gave the tour and was just like, yeah, like kind of fed you the little recruiting thing. And then bam, or maybe I don't even know. This was like spring break. So 2-3 months later, back there doing the drive myself, 18, 19 years old. And then, but like junior college
is everything. Like, I wouldn't be who I am if I would never. If I can just, junior college is everything that I ever needed.
And maybe it's a little bit different because I think you guys get paid pretty decently out here. Or maybe you could compare it to like your first years out here maybe. But like for me playing football out in Europe, like depending on where you are, like in Barcelona when I was playing here, essentially I'm making like minimum wage, maybe a little bit more, but practice 3 times, it's like I'm making good money hourly, but total there's just not a lot of work or whatever. But it's an incredible amount of time just like by yourself and everything's on you, and so like
I will never understand it.
But I feel like Juco prepared me so well for life out here, or life in general really, because it was like
it's a
struggle and like no one gives a fuck about you.
California junior colleges especially, because there's no they're not giving scholarships.
Exactly.
So you're there paying financial aid and shit, like
finding an apartment.
You're doing all that on your own. Like they don't give a damn.
No.
Just show up to practice.
Dude, and that's all you had to do. Like you didn't have to go to class.
You didn't have to do that.
Back to one of the things you said about the best guy or hoopers you've played with from Anchorage. Bro, the best running back I ever played with, this dude named Levante Green. He played like 1 year out of high school and then like just never went to class, and then somehow like figured out a way to get some credits over like 2 years, and then played another year at Juco, which was a year I played, and like didn't do anything after that because he didn't go to class. And we'd be leaving practice. I'd be like, yo, Levante, what are you about to do right now? He's like, shit, I got to go to work. It's like, 6 p.m. I'm like, when do you work? He's like, I work 8 to 10 or 8 to 8. I was like, bro, when do you sleep? He's like, when I'm supposed to be in class. But like he was one of the best dudes ever, but because of circumstance couldn't get out of it. And
I played with some amazing talent in junior college, and it's just so interesting. Like my mindset from then, I was like, damn, these guys are really good. Like why would a coach pick me up when they can pick these guys up? But it takes so much to really make it out. Like, just to even get your associate's degree, just to be that disciplined, because it took me 3 years to get out of junior college.
Okay, word.
So I did my first year. I go to College of Alameda. Fuck off all my financial aid.
Okay.
I'm going to class, but my school was kind of cool, so my personality was able to win me over some shit.
Yeah, you could pass with
So I was making it through. Then I wasn't eligible to play the second semester, I had to pay a whole bunch of money because I didn't pay off my tuition fees.
Okay.
So you have to pay your fees. I paid my fees. I ended up playing again, but I really wasn't doing well in school. And then the next season came around, and I wouldn't have enough credits to graduate. So it was kind of like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, okay, well, shit, I'm going to sit out because I don't want to, waste a year.
Yeah.
And so I sit out, and my grandmother, she was actually kind of, providing for me for a little bit because I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
And then she got tired of that because she started seeing my debit card, what I'm buying and shit. So she's like, oh, no, I'm not supporting this. So I'm just like, oh, wow. Well. So I sit out. I get a job. My first job was at Jack in the Box.
Okay.
I was working Jack in the Box my sophomore year. I'm working Jack in the Box.
In the Bay.
In Oakland.
Okay.
No, in Alameda. I'm in the Alameda side, so I'm just Jack in the Boxed out. I'm staying with. There's a baseball team. Okay, I meet a friend. He plays on the basketball team. His dad is a baseball coach.
Okay.
And he runs a baseball house. So he has a house, and he rents out rooms to baseball players from the neighboring school. So I'm connected with these guys, and I'm just staying in the house with baseball. But this is my buddy. We're best friends. So I'm sleeping. We're sleeping in the same bed. I'm sleeping in his closet. Anything. But his dad used to get pissed because I used to be staying over there so much. But the house was right next to the school, so it's if I wanted to go to school, I had to stay over there.
Dang.
Instead of going late night back to Oakland where my auntie stayed at.
Okay, got you.
So it was do I want to make that walk, get on the bus, and travel that far? I'm like, no.
No,
so I'm staying here, sneaking around, stealing food and shit. So I still owe Abel Alcantar to this day, man. That guy, he told me, he's a crazy guy. Love him to death. But so I'm sneaking around doing all that type of stuff, and working at Jack in the Box. A month into Jack in the Box, I get another job at 24 Hour Fitness.
Okay.
Somehow I get that. So I'm in 24 Hour Fitness, but I only last a month at 24 Hour Fitness. I get fired, no call, no show. Before I got fired from 24 Hour Fitness, this is the best part. So I'm at 24 Hour Fitness. I'm working. I'm a liaison. I'm just going around picking up towels and shit.
Got you.
And it's on my lunch break. I see these guys, these random guys, just beating up everybody on the court. They were just killing everybody, just winning games. And I'm like, damn, I wait till I get on my break. I'm going to get these guys. Get on my break, I go in, I start killing them in my work clothes and shit. And there just so happens to be a guy who was working out his son, and he's affiliated with the San Francisco City people. He sees me playing, he's like, damn, you got some game, what's up?
What are you doing?
I'm going to tell this coach about you, come down to City College. So I go to City College, see a basketball game. It's one of their finals games. I go in there, shake the coach's hands, meet him. They tell me to come back for spring training and see what I can do. Come back, and this time I'm playing against they're have their whole team there. It's open gym, but it's high level guys. Really good basketball players. One of the guys was DeLon Wright. He plays for the Mavericks right now.
Okay.
So I'm playing with these guys. I'm holding my own. I'm doing well. I think this is my fucking NBA finals when I go to this day. I'm yo, make sure my shoes are laced right. I go there, I perform well, man. They tell me yo, we want you to come play with us. And this is San Francisco City College, one of the biggest junior colleges in California.
Yeah.
So I go get the spot and I go play. I start summer school. Started summer school there. Still getting into trouble, minor trouble. It's still not everything's not smooth sailing, but at the end of the day, you look at it from now, it's well, shit, it all worked out. You don't really want to count
100%,
little hiccups, but everything worked out, man. It was cool. San Francisco City College was dope. I'm playing with 8 Division I players. I'm coming off the bench. I'm the 7th man.
Okay.
We're having great practices. I'm killing guys in practices, but they're obviously more talented. They have athletic ability. So when D1 schools would come, they would come watch these guys.
For sure.
So I'm still trying to get my offer, but this is what I'm doing. And then So that season goes on. We go like 31-1 or some
Damn.
shit. We lose in the first round of playoffs to
Damn,
Chabot.
City was the
Yeah,
school
we're
in
killing
football
everybody.
too. Yeah.
One of my buddies played there too.
Okay,
Caleb
yeah.
Polly. He played. He's from Alaska. He played at
word.
San Francisco City. So we're killing guys. We're losing in the playoffs, some shit like that. First round of the playoffs, and so that season was a wrap.
Okay.
So now we're waiting for schools to come and what offers and shit like that. So I don't get no D1 offers. I think I had one school that was kind of interested, but they didn't want to do nothing with me. So I ended up getting a D2 offer to Adams State.
Okay.
In Colorado, Alamosa, Colorado.
Yep.
So I get a scholarship there. More coincidences of the coach at Adams State, Lewis Wilson, is from Alaska, originally from New York, but he grew up in Alaska. He knew my dad, my auntie. He was like, it was just so random how it happened. Like, so he knows them, and one of the guys, it gets even crazier. Like his nephew's cousin was like my brother's old girlfriend. So I knew him growing up. Like he was always there. You know what I mean? I remember
Weird.
growing up. So then I go to this school, and it's like kind of like an Alaskan thing. Like the head coach is Alaskan. The other guy on the team's Alaskan. There's other guys that are around that are Alaskan. So they know of me. We know of each other. And the first day I get to Colorado, I meet one of my best friends to this day now. So like that whole experience in Colorado was dope. Taught me a lot playing there. We were a very talented team.
And you were there for 2 years then?
I was only there for 1 year.
Only one, okay.
So we do really well, but there was a lot of hiccups throughout the year. Like guys were getting caught with shit. Some guy got hit by a car. Like it was a lot of crazy shit going. It was like really like this was like a delinquent like place. You know what I mean? Like with all due respect to the organization, everything. Coaches tried to do as well as they could, but like we were troublemakers. Like everybody was a D1 bounce back.
Yeah.
Amazing talent. Just like
there was a reason everyone was there.
Everybody was there for a reason.
Yeah.
So then that year finishes up. My head coach, he leaves. He gets another job somewhere else. So that whole shit is like breaking down. The new coach that's coming in, we kind of have a meeting, and he's like asking me to my face, like, "Do you think we could work together?" And I'm like, "No." Yo, I'm like, "I don't think we can work together. Like, I don't think it's gonna work out." So like, I ended up hitting up my old coach who was leaving. I'm like, "Yo, I don't think me and this new guy are gonna work out. I wanted to be there, but I didn't. What can we do?" Like, he's like, "Where do you want to go? You want to go to Hawaii? Like, where can you play?" I'm like, "Well, shit, I want to go back home. I want to go play in Alaska. See if I can get to the school that was my city, like Anchorage.
Okay.
See if I can get to UAA."
Okay.
UAA, I hear him talking on the phone. UAA doesn't want me. They're like, the guy's kind of just like, we kind of have our dynamic that we're building right now. Like, we don't really want that guy. And I'm like, okay, he probably heard about me. He thinks I'm like some troublemaker. So he doesn't want me. So they don't want me, but the secondary school, UAF, which is in Fairbanks, Alaska, it's like 3 hours drive from my house. So they want me. So I'm like, okay, hell yeah. I'm going where somebody wants me, and I'm going to make that other team pay. So this is my first year branching out. I go to UAF, man, and it was like my year. Like I was the captain. I wasn't the captain, but I did captain shit.
Right.
I was the best player. This was one of the times where I had my time to shine. So senior years goes great. Everything works out. We do some unbelievable shit. We beat the #1 team in the nation. Then we make it to the tournament. We lose in the championship, probably because I was like being selfish or some shit, trying to take all the glory. But we lose that game, man, and I pretty much drop out of college after that.
Okay. Can you go a little?
Oh yeah, I pretty much drop out of college after that. After that, we lose that game. We're like in Washington, lose it. We played at where we play at? Western Washington. Okay. One of those schools.
Western was my only offer coming out of high school, and the week of my visit, the program got shut down for football.
Oh, shit. Yeah. The year we played, we had their best player, their best football player. It was a tight end. No, this wasn't Western Washington. We played at I think it was Western Oregon.
Okay. Woo.
Could have been one of those places.
Yeah.
Either way, but
they're all similar.
Yeah. One of the best players that played on the basketball team, and they were the #1 team. Western Oregon was the #1 team. The best player, he was like the tight end for the fucking football team. And he was like amazing, like super big guy, had good feet, could move, could shoot. He was really good. But lose that game, and it's kind of around spring break time, around this time right now.
Right.
So lose that game, and then fucking what happens? Spring break happens. So like my friends are from Colorado are like, yeah, let's go to Mexico, or like let's do something. So I think we meet up in Mexico or Vegas or something, and from that point on, like I was like, should I go back to school? Well, I'm like already messing up. Like I wasn't gonna graduate that year already, so I was like, whatever. So I stay out. I go to Mexico, Arizona, fucking back to Colorado, the old school I was
just
at.
having fun
just
with
living
it.
Life,
Yeah,
whatever. Talking to agents at this time.
Okay.
There was 2 agents that were trying to sign me, the agency that I'm with now and another agency. And I was kind of like playing, it was like a good feeling. It's feeling like I'm doing something, like I'm going overseas, I'm going pro.
Yeah.
So my high.
There's a plan.
My hopes are high right now. I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna sign with this agency. I sign, and I don't get a job until January.
Okay.
So this is like I signed with the agency in like March, April.
Oh damn.
And I don't get a job. They're telling me I'm gonna. So this whole process of like sitting around and shit was just like killing me. Like, yeah, I'm trying to finish school, but I'm like, damn, like what's going on?
You're not too motivated because this next step doesn't even require it.
Me not knowing like what's really going on when it comes to agents and like getting overseas, and I have no like idea what industry I'm getting into right now.
Right.
So I'm just like thinking that agents are gonna do whatever. I don't care what papers I'm signing.
Yeah.
So with this agency I'm with, there's the communication is kind of back and forth. I don't really like talk to them every day. They're not giving me updates on things because it's a different business, So they don't get me a job they don't even get me a job until my first actual year out. So what happens is my friend who I have met, he had a way better senior season than I did. He's like, he signs with an agency and he gets a job in Bulgaria.
Okay.
And the agency that he was with, I told him that, I was like, yo, man, throw my name in something, you know what I mean? So one of the agents hit me up and was like, yeah, we'll throw your name in something. Turns out he threw my name in something and it was like this job in Georgia, the country of Georgia.
Yeah.
Like, in January, but it didn't start till January, but I didn't even think about it. So my agency's not getting me a job. I'm like, fuck, man, like basketball's pretty much done. Like, what's going on? So throughout that summer, that whole time.
And you're living in Anchorage at this point, or where are you living at this point in life?
So after I leave Fairbanks, I go back and stay with my grandmother and them in Anchorage. So I'm in Anchorage, right?
Okay.
Trying to finish school. They want me to get my degree. So I'm going to finish school, taking online classes. I probably have like 3 online classes to finish. So then one day, one of my other friends just hits me up and is like, yo, I'm doing good right now, man. Come to LA. I'll buy you a ticket tonight. And I'm like, what the fuck? All right.
Yeah.
Drop the books, drop the school. I take my iPad with me. I'm like, I'll finish school on the way. I go to LA and I'm living in LA with my friend, man, for like a couple weeks. And this is kind of like when I engage in like a tour season type of things, because I'm like, all right, whatever, we're in LA, then I end up in Oregon, and then I end up in like West Virginia for a few weeks too. Don't ask.
What are you doing, bro?
It's tour season, man. It was a well-connected tour season, man. This is when it started. So, yeah, man, I'm living, I'm doing that. I'm just kind of like meeting new people, meeting a lot of new things, and so I'm in West Virginia. I'm not working out really. I'm not playing basketball. I'm like kind of giving up on the shit.
Yeah.
But then I do actually go to the gym in West Virginia a few times, and I'm killing guys. So I'm like, oh, okay, I still got it.
It's still there, yeah.
Next thing you know, I leave West Virginia and I head back to Oakland. While I'm in Oakland, one of my friends has this.
Wait, why the fuck West Virginia?
Well, my buddy, he was living in West Virginia. Like he was in LA, but he had friends. Like he had people in West Virginia. He had like a house in West Virginia. So like that was his home base because he had guys that were playing and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So we were like, okay, I'm gonna go to West Virginia and just try it out. I've never been there. So I'm in West Virginia. It's a good time. I go back to LA. No, I go back to Oakland, drive to LA for the baseball. The baseball guy I told you about?
Okay.
There's a baseball tournament in LA. I'm like, okay, let me just go to LA, whatever. I'm just traveling at this time, really with no money, like nothing. Like off of the strength of my relationships, and this is like the power of like the relationships you build with different people. So this is where the whole well-connected concept came about.
Gotcha.
It was just like I asked myself literally, how the hell am I doing this? And it's literally off the strength of other people and just people fucking with me, and I'm like, okay, well, thank you.
And you having the belief that like you can do it. Because like there's a lot of people that like wouldn't even attempt that shit, you know.
And I'm always had this personality where I was just like, fuck it, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Let's just go see what's gonna happen, because like you'll never really know unless you experience something. So, I'm in LA and I get a message on Facebook that's like, yo, Travante Williams, do you want to come play in Georgia? And I'm like, hell yeah. They were like, well, we need you here, like, this is like a fucking Saturday, or this is like a Thursday. And they're like, we need you here by Monday.
Whoa.
And I'm like, shit, send the ticket. So, like, and it's like a sketchy-ass message on Facebook, too, and I'm just like, yeah, here's my information, send it. So next thing you know, I don't even tell my agency about it, anything. I get the ticket, plane shit's confirmed, it's confirmed. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm really
This is real?
This is real. I go back to Oakland, I'm in the house, I'm talking to my auntie. Like 95 at this time, 96. And I'm like, yeah, auntie, I'm leaving. I'm going out the country. Like, I'm doing it. I have my passport and shit. I'm like, let's do it. Man, I get on the flight. I go to Georgia. It was a long-ass flight, man. I get there, and I'm in the big city, Tbilisi.
Okay.
That's what I fly into. So, like, I fly into Tbilisi. I'm seeing shit. I'm like, oh, this is real nice. This is dope. I like this place. They put me in a hotel there. I'm like, yes, Tbilisi. Man, the next morning, they must have woke me up at like 9 a.m. talking about like, yo, we got to drive to the city that you're going to live in. So I drive to this city, man, and I'm like seeing all the McDonald's and shit pass. I'm like, damn, where am I going? And I end up in this little town. I can't even. It was called Tuscatubo, or I'm probably saying it real bad, but it's something like that. And It's like they put me in a nice little apartment. There's one other American. He's from I think he was from Georgia or Alabama.
They tricked him. They're like, "You want to play in Georgia?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" He's
there too. Just like,
why is the flight 12 hours?
Yo, getting your feet off the ground is the hardest part.
For sure.
Becoming a professional basketball player.
For sure.
Like, there's so much talent in America that just like can't get a job. They can't get a job. There's nobody that's like, it's because their accolades don't match up. They're not the guy that's coming out of college, because these teams overseas, they like see YouTube. They see it's like a digital profile. And if you don't have that digital profile, you're kind of fucked.
For sure.
Or if you don't have any connections, you're pretty fucked.
Exactly.
And if you're not willing to take the risk, because a lot of guys, you can go take a risk and like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I'll foot my own bill. I'll just go try out. A lot of guys don't have the faith in their game, and they can't like make it happen like that. So I'm like, if I'm nice, if I'm good, shit, it's gonna work out for me. This is like my mindset throughout the whole time. So I get to Georgia, man, and this is like fucking 12 hours ahead of the states. So I'm like, okay, I can't even really communicate. I got Wi-Fi, so I'm good there. I'm staying in a 3-bedroom with 2 other guys. It's me, the other American, and an older man. He's like fucking 31. Is like, he was from like Kazakhstan or some shit.
And he played or no?
He was playing.
Okay,
he was a big man too.
Okay.
He had a wife and kid, but I think he was only getting like $100.
Dang.
So it was, and they weren't even like paying us on time. So it was like that 3 months I was there, I only received $300 that whole time. So
damn.
I get there.
But cost of living out there is super cheap.
Super cheap. I don't like giving us 2 meals a day. So I'm like, yo, I'm living the Viva Loca. Like I'm like, yo, I don't give a fuck. I'm in a different country. They're feeding me, so everything's kind of like I don't even.
And how's ball? Like, what's the competition like?
Now, in our little area, it was all right. The team I was playing for wasn't really good. There was a little bit of talent, but there wasn't too much talent on this team. It was, they were poorly funded and stuff like that. So, but they had enough to get us in a bus and drive us 2 hours to Tbilisi and play against better competition. So. There was a couple like Division I guys, and I'm in the bottom league of. There's like a Super League in Georgia, and there's an A League, so I'm playing in the A League. Okay. And there was some Division I guys that were playing against. So the competition, and if you're on a piss poor team, it's still harder if you're one of the guys that's like doing something. So like everybody's focused on you.
For sure.
And so you're playing, and Yeah, it was a crazy experience, man. We're like trekking through this. Like one time we were driving in the snow. I think we got stuck one time going down these hills. The Caucasus Mountains, like right there. We're just like, oh, I'm like, yo, is this about to be the time I die? Like, is it over? So we're like doing this shit, and it was cool, man. I ended up going out there, man, and like
Living for a living, baby. How you doing?